Alright, what's going on everybody? Hopefully you checked out my last video, which was a comparison of the Himiway Cruiser bike to the Rad bike. I compared them side by side and also the performance. It was two different videos. Check that out if you're interested, but the Himiway just proved to be a much stronger bike, and I haven't gone through all of the comments yet. I've gone through a fair amount, and there seems to be a reoccurring question in there, so figured I would take just a quick video today to address it. And that question is the Himiway, being that it's so much more powerful than the stock Rad bike, is it more powerful than your upgraded Radrover that I'm on right now? And the short answer is no, it's not. Probably not even close. Definitely not more powerful than this bike. If you have not watched before and you don't know what I'm riding, I'll show you. So that is, it was once a Radrover, and I've done some serious upgrades to this bike, changing batteries, controllers, motors, all kinds of stuff on this bike, and made it just a powerhouse. And this thing, it is just an animal. There's no way around it. It's got so much power now. The Himiway is a powerful bike, but this one, it doesn't come close to this yet. This is a different animal, for sure. So, to answer that question, no, the Himiway is not as powerful as this bike in pretty much any way. Acceleration, hill climb, top speed, this thing's going to take it on all those. The Himiway is a strong performer, don't get me wrong. If you're looking for some performance out of the box, that's a great bike. But it doesn't compete with this thing just yet. You'd have an easier time keeping up with me on that bike than a regular Rad, but I'll illustrate here. I'm over in the same neighborhood where I did my hill climb portion of that performance video. So I'm going to go do that same hill climb on this bike so you can see just what I'm talking about. Alright, here we are at the same hill. So if you watched that other video, the stock Rad went up this hill at, I think it was like 9-10 miles an hour on just the throttle. The Himiway climbed it at like 13 or 14 miles an hour, so much stronger. But let me show you what this bike will do. You ready? Throttle only, up the hill. Just no hesitation in this bike. At no point did it feel like it was struggling. Just breezed up that hill at 19 miles an hour. So, yeah, the Himiway's not as powerful as this thing yet. You'd probably have to put a different controller on it to get the same amount of power. I mean, what it boils down to is this bike has a bigger battery, higher voltage. It's a 52 volt, and it's got a stronger controller. It's got 35 amp controller. And the Himiway has a 25, so you're just getting more power, more watts out of this bike. It's probably the difference of about maybe 1700 watts versus 1200, roughly. Alright, so if you're curious to know everything that I did to this bike, just go check back through my video library, and you can see I've done a video on about everything: the battery, the controller, the motor, changing all of it out, the performance, increases and comparisons. So just take a quick walk through there and just turn it on and let it play. Just watch all of my videos, and that'll be the best way to see what's going on with this bike. But it's a super strong performer. So to answer that question, the Himiway was not as powerful as this one yet. To answer your next question is, well, okay, should I buy a Rad then and upgrade it to make it like yours to get the power? I would not recommend you do that either. If you're looking for just some stronger power out of the box, the Himiway would be great. If you're looking for even more power than that, I'm not going to suggest you buy a Rad and upgrade it, because I had to do all that work myself. You got to find the parts in stock somewhere, and then that was $1,000 worth of parts to put on this bike that already cost $1,500. So you're looking at $2,500 here for this power. You can just take that $2,500 and go buy a more powerful bike out of the box. So hopefully that's helpful. If you do like doing projects and you want to tackle this yourself, on my website, ridewithcitizen.com, is every part I've put onto this bike. So you can click the links and go try to find it and order it and do it yourself, but you're going to have to do the work yourself, all the changing out. I don't think a bike shop is really going to do this for you. So this bike This bike is definitely still my favorite though, just because it's so custom fit for me. You know, the softness of the tires and the foam tire liners in there just make the ride quality amazing, and the soft seat, and it's got all the gadgets and packs and gizmos I like, and the power. I'm just drunk with the power on this bike. It's so much fun. It takes off like a bat out of hell. It's so much fun. I can't imagine having a bike with 2,000 plus watts. I mean, I'd probably get myself into trouble doing that. I'm having a blast with this one as it sits right now. She's still my favorite. And I finally came up with a name for this bike, actually. If you watched any of my other videos, there was a couple videos where I asked for name suggestions. You guys were very, very creative with the name suggestions. Some of them were pretty cool, but ultimately I wanted to name it myself, so I think I've settled on the name. This is the Mistress, because I spend a lot of time on it, so if I'm not with my wife and family, I'm with the Mistress. So I think that's going to be her name. I don't know if I'll put that marking on here anywhere or not, probably not, but let's see how she accelerates. See why I love the power so much? It is very quick bike. Tell you what, when you come up to a stoplight next to a scooter or even a car, and you jump out off the line on them, it shocks them. They're not expecting a bicycle to beat them off the line at a stoplight or a stop sign, that's for sure. But I'll probably end up doing more of an in-depth comparison of, you know, this upgraded Rad to the Himiway bike. And I'm not quite sure what I'm doing with the Himiway yet as far as modifications on that bike. That's actually another question you guys asked, which I'll get to. I haven't looked at it yet, but you want to know if the plugs and everything were the same for the controllers and the motors and all that for the Himiway and the Rad. I haven't looked at them real closely to see if they're identical or not. And I don't know yet of any websites out there that are offering Himiway upgrades. So maybe if you guys start making a racket and start asking these websites to you know, make upgrades for that bike, maybe they'll do it. But I will come back with more info, you know, compare these a little bit better. I'll check out the plugs and let you know on that. And just stay tuned for some more information to come. Actually, follow me on Instagram too, Citizen_Cycle. I do extra video clips on there, stuff I don't put on YouTube, and kind of spoiler videos on what I'm doing next. So also too, if you want to message me, that's a great place to do it. You know, a direct message through Instagram. It's kind of hard. You can't really direct message through YouTube. You have to just put it in the comments, and I don't like having a whole conversation with people, you know, through the comments. So Instagram's a good way to do that. If you've got a bike you live locally and you want to race me, you want to do a, you know, quarter-mile drag race on whatever you got, juice, rip current, or whatever. I'd love to test this thing against some other more powerful bikes, because right now it's just destroying all the other bikes I have because it's so much more powerful than they are. But it would be interesting to put this up next to like a Super 73 or a juiced bike or something that has more power, and just see how good I made this thing with all the, you know, Frankenstein parts I put together on it. Who knows, I might even do more with this bike too. I'd really love to drop like a 1,000-watt motor in this thing somehow. I don't know if they make one that fits in that rear casing I've got. The 750 was pretty big, so I don't know what the next step is. I'm not an e-bike guru, you know. I'm learning this stuff. You guys are watching me learn all this stuff, actually. I'm pretty much documenting my experience of figuring all this out as I shift more towards electric. I haven't got on the electric motorcycle train yet. I'm not there yet. I'm not sold on that. I don't know if I'll ever buy one of those. They're too expensive for what you get on that, I feel anyway. But I don't know, maybe riding one would change my mind, but baby steps. I did buy an electric lawnmower to test out. Maybe I'll do a review on that. I got so much to do on these bikes yet. I got to figure this out yet. You know, I still get zeros when I coast. I know you guys gave me a lot of suggestions for the settings in there, and I honestly haven't had time to get to it yet. So I will. It's just not top priority for me because I don't really care about the speedometer all that much. It works when I pedal and works when I use the throttle, so whatever, I don't care. I'll get to it. But I think that's all for today, guys. Let me know what other video things you want to see. If you want me to do any more tests or anything with the Himiway, I'm happy to try that. So just put them in the comments or message me, like I said, through Instagram. That works too. And thank you so much for watching.